guys, welcome back to my channel. Now we are going to do another lab session. If you haven't seen my previous Lambda lab session, you can check it out. And now we are going to do this one. We have done run a serverless hello world, and now it's handle errors in serverless application. Let's see how it's going to be working. In this tutorial requires AWS account. We already have one. I'm just going to, it's already signed in here. Okay, how do I handle errors in serverless applications? This is with Step Functions and AWS Lambda. In this tutorial, you will learn how to use AWS Step Functions to handle workflow runtime errors. AWS Step Function is a serverless orchestration service that lets you easily coordinate multiple Lambda functions into flexible workflows that are easy to debug and easy to change. AWS Lambda is a compute service that lets you run code without provisioning or managing servers. Lambda functions can occasionally fail, such as when an unhandled exception is raised, when they run longer than the configured timeout, or when they run out of memory. Writing and maintaining error handling logic is in every one of Lambda functions to handle situations such as API throttling or socket timeouts can be time intensive and complicated, especially for distributed applications. So let's go and start creating Lambda function mockup on API. Create a Lambda function to mock on API. In this step, you will create a Lambda function that will mock a few basic API interactions. The Lambda function raises exceptions to simulate responses from a fictitious API, depending on error code that you provide as input in the event parameter. Let's go to MARS console. If you haven't signed into Lambda before, you can type Lambda here. I already have it here, so I'm just going to click. Create a function. AWS Lambda lets you run code without thinking about servers. You pay for the compute time that you consume. There is no charge when your code is not running. With Lambda, you can run code for virtually any type of application or backend service, all with zero administration. Let's create a function. Okay, it's going to be name the function mockup function. Okay, Python 3.6. I don't have 3.6. Let's select 3.9, the new version, I guess. Role, create custom role. Basic information, architecture. A new IAM window will open. Leave the role name Lambda Basic Execution. Author from scratch. Create a new role. Create custom role. Okay. This will create basic Lambda permissions, basic Lambda role name. This is what I already wrote here. Okay, advanced settings. I'm just going to leave this one and create function. This is author from scratch. mockup function. It didn't leave IAM window will didn't open the IAM window. Okay, I'm just going to leave as it is. On the mockup screen, scroll down the function code section. In this tutorial, you will create a function that uses programming model for authoring Lambda functions in Python. In the code, replace all the code the following, then choose save. Here, Lambda function replace class Lambda function. Okay, and click deploy or save. Function code. This is code source. Function code section. Function code section. Code source. This must be the same one. It's just a little different. Don't see file save here. Okay. Once your Lambda function is created, scroll to the top of the window. Note its Amazon resource name. I ran. Okay. Just going to open Notepad. In a new Notepad, I'm going to copy that. Now, what we need to do, create an AWS identity and access management role. We need to go. AWS Step Functions can execute code and access other AWS resources. For example, data stored in Amazon S3 bucket. To maintain security, you must grant Step Function access to these resources using AWS Identity and Access Management. In another browser, we are going to open another browser. We will come back here. I'm just going to open it here. Okay. We are going to create a row. Rows. Create a row. Trusted and select type of trusted entity type, step functions. Lambda, AWS service Lambda must be this one. This is a little different. We don't have that. Select type of trusted entity page. Trusted entity page. Step one. We don't have that. Allow maybe a service like Lambda others perform action in this account. Okay, attach permission policy. Can't see Lambda here. I'm going to just click next and attach the policy. Which one? Page review. Which policy? Step function basic. The console apparently has changed a little bit. Why it didn't work? Add permissions. Create role. Attach permission policy. Create policy. Is it next review? Attachment page. Choose next. So we are not going to do anything here, I guess. On the review, role details, role name. On the review page, step function basic execution for role name and click create role. Okay. Your new IAM role is created and appears in the list beneath the IAM role for your Lambda function. Roles. Okay. Create a step functions state machine. We are going to go to, where is it? Step function console. You use step function console to create a state machine that uses task state with a retrieve and catch field to handle the various API response codes. You will use the task state to invoke your mock API Lambda function, which will return API status code you provide as input in your state machine. Open AWS Step Function console. Create the step function. I'll take this one out again. Design. Author for scratch. Create state create. Choose authoring method. Author from scratch. Design your workflow visually. Simple projects from a simple template. Simple projects in code. Scratch. Apparently they changed their name. Okay. Details. We are going to write from code, I think. Standard definition. Details section. Name your state machine. State machines. My API state machine. Author from scratch. Details. Let me see this bigger. IAM role name. Existing IAM roles. State machine definition. It doesn't ask me a name. I will use an existing role. Then select I will use an existing role. Start hello world and state machine definition. Shall I just copy this one to my JSON? Replace. You'll design a state machine that will take different actions depending on the response from your mock API. If the API can't be reached, the workflow will try again. Retreats are a helpful way to address transient errors. The workflow also catches different exceptions thrown by the mock API. Start and I will use this existing role. There are lots of export, layout, express, state machine definition, state machine definition. Why is this? Replace content state machine definition section the following code. Find, we are going to change something. Find the resourceless line in call-API task line to update IRN in the, this is my IRN. And on the call-API task, let me see which part. Resource, we are going to change the resource here. Resource here. This is the one I have. Okay. Why do I have that? West one. This looks okay. West line one. Okay. Nope. Sorry. I missed it again. Need to go back. Take the code. JSON from the top. Is it okay now? And area IRN should be this one. Okay. Why is it not working? Find the resource line in call-API task state line. To update this ARN to the ARN of the mock API Lambda function, you just click on the ARN text and then select the ARN from the list. How do you mean? Call-API task state line. States. You click on the ARN text and then select the ARN from the list. The value is not valid. Lambda function, ARN step function. No, it's not changing. Click the refresh button beside the visual workflow pane to have step functions create a state machine diagram that corresponds to workflow you just designed. After reviewing a visual workflow, click create state machine. Find the resource line in the call-API task line 7. To update this ARN to the ARN of the mock API Lambda function you just created, click on the ARN text and then select ARN from the list. It's not working that way. Okay, now there was some error. I guess it worked now. Okay, we need to be careful with the characters. Okay, finally, now create state machine. Next, create new row, create state machine, test your handling, choose existing row. IRN, this is my IRN. Test your error handling workflow. You'll invoke state machine. You can call mock API by providing error code as input. A new execution dialog box appears. New execution. My state machine. Permissions. Create state machine. Invalid IRN. Create new row. It's not showing this part. I think it changed a little bit. That's why what was on the top. Details. Name your state machine. My API state machine. Name. My state machine. My API state machine name. Existing row. I think we created a row. Why does it not show here? Okay. Okay. Now we go back to start execution. Start execution here. Replace existing text with the code. It's missing. Okay. On the execution details screen, click input to see the input provided your state machine input. Execution details. Graph definition. Details. Okay. Click input. Input. Export. Edit state machine. Where is the input? Events. Lambda logs. Cannot see input. To see the input you provided your state machine next to the output of the execution details here. I don't see it here. So state transitions, definition, input. Okay, input and output. The request has succeeded. Status code succeeded. Okay. Apico. Visual workflow. You can see input and output steps here. Step details. Call API. Simulator. No. Usual workflow, you can see the path of each execution shown in green in the workflow. Click on the call API task state, call API. Okay, now we can see here status code body hello form lambda. Okay. Next, click on OK. Okay. Okay. State is passed. Inspect the execution of your state machine. Scroll on the top, execution details, definition details here. Screen, click on machine. Okay, start execution. Click on start execution, and at this time provide the following input and then click start execution. We are going to type another input now. Start execution. Execution event history section. Expand each section step to confirm that your workflow has behaved as expected. Event history. Events. Execution started. Step function captured your input. That input was passed on the call API task state. The call API task state called mock API function using that input. Mock API function executed, failed with server available exception, and workflow state machine completed. Call API. Next, you will simulate a 4 to 9 exception. Scroll top of execution details and try run another execution. Start execution and start another one. Okay. Now you will inspect the retrieve behavior of your workflow in the execution event history section. Expand each execution step once more to confirm step function. Try calling the mock API Lambda step function events. State machine. This is a little different. Export events are here. Call API, okay. Now you will inspect the retrieve behavior of workflow. Wait. Next, wait state use brute force to change the response code to 200 and your workflow completed execution successfully. That probably wouldn't be how you handle the 4 to 9 exception in a real application, but we are keeping things simple for sake of the tutorial. Executions. Am I seeing executions? Needed execution input output events details is just a little bit different than previous version. New execution Start execution. Okay. You see story for all executions of your workflow and step into them eventually as you like. Where are the executions? I don't see them here, maybe. Succeeded, exit logging. Started. Started, succeeded, all of them, logging. Okay. Failed. Why does it say failed? Does it supposed to fail? This one then doesn't show failed. Okay, I think that's all for now. We are going to terminate our resources now, state machines, and delete state machine. And then this one is deleted. We are going to go to Lambda functions on the. I'm going to later delete the rows maybe. Go back to Lambda functions and delete. Okay, I'm a little bit confused. I don't exactly know how it's going to work in the real life environment for testing purposes, but I think we will have a better understanding after practicing more. I will see you in my next video. Bye.